I really hope that I have enough light to shoot a vlog because I wanted to just take a quick walk around the farm with you guys. This is my favorite time of day to be outside. I come outside every evening the last 15 or 20 minutes before the sun goes down and just walk around in the spring. I love it. I hope you can hear the insects. Look at all of my little cucumbers and squash babies coming up. Aren't they looking cheery? And these guys sure are getting ready to go out to the garden. Oh, coffee mug. Does anybody else find their mugs just like laying around all the time? I have been doing better about only taking outside mugs outside and not taking nice mugs outside, because at one point I went around and found like 3 very nice mugs laying around my farm. I was like, this is irresponsible. Can we just talk about these rose bushes on this arbor? So my first rose of the year is getting ready to open, and I was just noting how many buds were on these plants the other day, and it is somewhere in the range of like, I mean, it's over 100. They're just completely covered, and I am so excited about that. That rose bush was a lesson in patience for me, because I planted it last year with the idea of it looking exactly like it looks right now, and of course it didn't look like that at all last year, because it takes a while to establish things like that. And I'm really glad I planted those roses last year, because I think it set a more realistic expectation for my perennial garden this year, because I think otherwise I'd be like really just chomping at the bit for my perennial garden to grow, whereas now I'm getting it all in and imagining what it's going to look like next year. So this is something that is new. We've got the kids' garden amended. Now we need to come in and deal with a lot of the weeds that are growing through here, which is going to basically look like weed eating and kind of pulling some of them out. We won't be able to eradicate all of these because we won't spray anything in here. We're going to build them a little deck down there up against the house, and they have a little furniture set. And this was something we'd envisioned last year that we never did get to finish. We want to set them up a little garden space where they can come down and maybe have their meals and enjoy their garden the way that I enjoy mine. Now, my kids play in my garden all the time. I encourage them to. I love that they come out and play in the garden. It's one of my favorite things whenever I look out the window and I see them playing hide and seek, or in the summer they're down here eating stuff. They know they're allowed to. It's a little bit costly because sometimes they make mistakes or pick something that they're not supposed to, but I just love the idea of them growing up with childhood memories of playing in mom's big beautiful garden. But there is something to be said about giving them their own space that they can take responsibility for. Benjamin obviously is the one who probably takes it the most seriously, but Ezra and Toby take a big interest in it, and they have way more interest in their garden than they do in mine. Benjamin likes working in my garden as well. This week our focus has been getting ready for our chickens to come and working on getting trellises up so I can start planting, amending, all of that. So the kids' garden's kind of falling behind those things, but we'll get to it here pretty soon. We'll get their garden planted. Hey! Oh goodness, I have sandals on. I'll give them some treats so that they don't eat my toes. You following me for treats now? Huh? Oh, we're not on that level yet? No pets yet? Okay, I see how it is. Coming back out here where my toes will not be mistaken for little tasty treats. Very exciting news at Roots and Refuge Farm. We got 7 eggs this morning, 7. Now our hens have been laying like a little here and a little there, but pretty much a little much of nothing for the last few months. And that was because of, we had some predator issues, we had molt, winter, all of that, and they kind of just stopped laying, which they do that sometimes, and we've never forced the issue. But we actually just recently put a little bit of supplemental light, and that has helped hugely. Also, I think we're just coming into them getting settled. We brought the new hens in, they're getting settled, the older hens are getting settled with the new hens being here. Whatever the reason, they're happy and they're laying eggs. 7 eggs this morning. I am so excited. They had to start cranking them out on behalf of all chicken kind here before we get our new chicks. Tomorrow morning we're going to pick them up. I started to do a little planting back here. I've got little okra starts in these. I've got both burgundy and Clemson spineless, and I have some more okra starts to put in back here. And then here I have a few squash plants, just basic summer squash. And then down here, some spaghetti squash starts. And look at this. Potatoes. Pretty good, huh? So we are doing the kind of a modified Ruth Stout method with potato gardening, and that is to continue building straw up. So actually tomorrow these are going to get another layer of straw put on top of them. We're just going to keep mounding that up. They just had a really shallow layer here to begin with, and so now we're going to make it even thicker, and these guys will continue to grow. The feeling of something growing that I planted never gets old to me. Like when I come up and I see, when I first saw these coming up out of the ground, I'm like, oh my goodness, it worked! I'm so pumped about it. Hey girls. Aha. Hi Gabe. You coming to say hi? Little handsome guy. Not only have we been getting chicken eggs again every day, we started getting a duck egg every day as well. We have 5 hens and 1 drake, and they are old. I think our ducks are like 4 years old. So I don't know how many they're gonna lay, but we are getting some new ducks this year as well. We're getting cayugas from Murray McMurray Hatchery, which cayugas start out laying a really neat dark, almost black looking egg, and you only get a few that are that dark and then they lighten up, but they're just really beautiful ducks. You'll see how beautiful this evening sky is. Cotton candy clouds in the holy hush of the evening. There are some times of day that I just want to go around and make videos just looking at everything, and just I wish that I could convey the feeling. Like the evening walks, I always do this. I always make this loop around in the evening, and I wish that I could convey the feeling of it fully. I don't feel like I can. I try, but I don't feel like I effectively can. We'll come back out here once it's fully dark and close the door to the hen house, so they'll be safe tonight. Look, I almost forgot it again. I left it over here with my phone. Maya's been getting ready for the birds. We got our 2 brooders here. He's still working on the lid for the second one. And then we've got to move him over next door. My little boys and I were playing a game of Settlers of Catan Jr. Earlier, and we had to pause. So we've left it all down here to come back to later. This time of year absolutely kicks my butt. Every year, whenever I get to the crunch of spring, where I'm milking goats in the morning and still working on school stuff with the kids. Now even my big kids are here, and of course we're doing school with them. Our schools have now gone to alternative methods of instruction, which is sending work home and doing it online for the rest of the year, which I'm personally like super excited about to have my big boys here. I let them choose public school whenever they wanted to make that choice, and totally empowered in that decision, but now I'm like, mine! I get to have them back with me. Also being compassionate to the fact that this is very difficult for them. But I have to be an optimist about it, and I am really excited about the extra time I'm getting to spend with them. But it is a really, really busy time. And it's wonderful and so enjoyable, but I really have to be intentional to make sure that I still get up early enough to like journal and have quiet time, and that I take those little moments. Like I love to take that little stroll around the farm right before the sun goes down. Usually at that point, dinner's already taken care of. Like I'll cook it early, I'll get it going like in the Instant Pot, or Jackson, my 14-year-old, he's been helping a lot with cooking. He really likes cooking, he's very good at it. Praise God, that is such a wonderful thing to have as a teenager who can cook. Overall, little moments like that, and it doesn't necessarily have to be right before sunset, but that particular time when I walk around, when the sky is turning to cotton candy and you know, the chickens are like making their little low nighttime sounds, getting in the coop, and the goats and the alpacas are all bedding down and everybody's kind of going to sleep. There's just something really wooing about that to me. That's the moment where I'm not thinking about everything that I have to do. I'm not gearing up for the day. I'm able to kind of turn off that like task-oriented part of my mind and just walk around and enjoy the fact that I have this, because it is hard work. A lot of times, especially when we're talking about things like growing food and gardening and teaching your kids and cooking for your family, like so many of these things, it's very hard work. It's hard work that you have to do every day. It doesn't go away. You know, a lot of times it's easy to push through the hard work of something when you're really excited about it, but like a garden requires follow through. It requires hard work even when you don't feel like doing the hard work. I feel like it's really important to find the moments that woo your heart and make sure you indulge in them, because that really carries me through. Like when I'm walking through and just enjoying the garden without a to-do list, enjoying the farm, walking around it, and just feeling thankful for it, and just posturing my heart into a place of gratitude, it gets me ready for the next morning when it's time to wake up with a long to-do list. It gets me ready to want to come back out and pour my life into it. And tonight, I just wanted to share that moment with you guys. Just that little walk, that little look at things. It's really special to me, and I love getting to share stuff like that with you guys. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I bless you. Until next time.